If you're a man and already feel offended, relax. This video isn't about all men. It's about a very specific pattern. When a smart woman gets entangled with someone cognitively unqualified for the role he's playing. Here's the paradox. A smart woman is used to decoding complex systems. She sees structures, motives, hidden patterns. Her brain is calibrated for depth. So when she encounters genuinely dumb behavior, she instinctively tries to interpret it instead of seeing it for what it is and removing it from her space. This is where the error occurs, attributing depth where there's only intricately marinated shit. She tells herself, he probably feels something but just can't express it. Or maybe he's afraid of intimacy. Better yet, my intelligence makes him insecure. Of course, she thinks that. She's been trained since childhood to believe that men are emotionally limited, that emotional cluelessness is just how they are, that her job is to compensate, interpret, translate, and wait patiently for their delayed emotional puberty to kick in. No, he's just an idiot. And every narrative you build on top of his emptiness is your own intelligence misapplied to trash input. But here's what's really fucked up. Stupidity has become a form of power. The entire framework of intelligent analysis assumes that complexity beats simplicity, that depth trumps surface. But what happens when primitiveness learns to weaponize this assumption? The dumb man doesn't try to become smarter. He exploits your need for meaning. It's like a virus using the immune system to replicate. The smarter you are, the more effectively you're infected. Your intelligence becomes the very tool of your exploitation. And there's a hidden cultural program running underneath all of this. Smart women are systematically taught that their intelligence is a liability. You overthink everything. Men are intimidated by smart women. You need to be more approachable. Or literally, what I was told in childhood. A smart woman should be wise enough to appear stupid. This isn't accidental. It's a deliberate systemic conditioning. The entire architecture of patriarchal culture relies on the suppression of female cognitive power. Smart women aren't just discouraged. They're neurologically rewired to doubt themselves, to self-censor, to translate insight into silence. You're not supposed to use your mind to recognize bullshit. You're supposed to use it to rationalize staying in it. This creates an internal contradiction. A woman starts to feel shame about her cognitive superiority and seeks validation from those who are obviously inferior. The logic becomes, if even this idiot accepts me, maybe I'm not the inaccessible bitch I've been told I am. This program gets especially vicious after a woman has survived actual abusers, narcissists, or manipulators. She recalibrates her standards downward. She thinks, okay, maybe he's not deep, but at least he's not cruel. So she tries to settle for emotional safety and ends up with a cognitively disabled liability wrapped in passivity. The absence of overt abuse gets mistaken for value. It's like drinking dishwater and calling it tea. At least it's not battery acid. Here's what dumb manipulators understand instinctively. Intelligent women will do the mental labor for them. That's their entire strategy. They speak in vague, cryptic half sentences. They drop silence bombs at key moments. They maintain this fake aura of wounded mystery. They say something mildly painful, specifically to trigger your interpretive circuits. He farts, and you compose a symphony of psychological trauma to explain it. The mechanism goes deeper than a simple interpretation. The dumb man is an energetic black hole. He can't generate emotional depth, so he parasitizes yours. You create the entire emotional reality of the relationship while he just exists in it as a passive recipient. And here's the sick paradox. The more interpretations you invest, the more real the relationship feels. You're literally creating a phantom of depth and then believing in your own creation. You become both the author and the audience of a one-woman show. When a man with zero social capital starts playing the withholding game, giving you silence to see how you'll dance to his attention, a smart woman might actually react with curiosity. She thinks, "This idiot believes I need his approval. Fascinating, let me understand his pattern." And boom, you're in the game. A game designed by a mentally flat NPC who accidentally triggered your analytical system. The hooks go even deeper when we look at how smart women often overdevelop empathy. They detect woundedness, dysfunction, abandonment, and immediately activate rescue mode. The internal narrative goes, "He's like this because no one understood them. Maybe I can be the one who finally reaches him." This is a parasite hook. It's a bug from childhood conditioning that says, if you can help, then you must help. So you end up trying to pour wisdom into what is essentially a crumpled soda can. But there's a deeper layer here, the programming of competence. Smart women are also conditioned to carry hyper-responsibility from childhood. They were programmed to understand, to forgive, to see deeper. This creates a toxic pattern. If you see something, you're responsible for it. So when she sees his stupidity, the program activates. I see the problem, therefore I must solve it. When the correct response should be, I see shit, therefore I step away from shit. Meanwhile, in systems where women are taught that value equals being chosen, a man's rejection, even from a total fuckwit, gets misread as proof of his superiority. This vulnerability is widely exploited in pickup techniques. Rejection is used deliberately to trigger self-doubt and make the target seek validation. So the question becomes, why doesn't he want me? What's wrong with me? Wrong question entirely. The real question should be, why am I allocating brain cells to someone with the cognitive footprint of a damp drywall? Here's the most insidious part. A smart woman can be fully aware of all these patterns and still fall for them. Because then she starts analyzing her own analysis. Maybe I'm too critical. Maybe this is my pattern dismissing simple people. She applies critical thinking to her own critical thinking, creating a recursive loop of self-doubt. Meanwhile, the idiot just continues being an idiot, completely unbothered by any form of self-reflection. You fall for it precisely because you are smart, not because he is. You project depth onto idiocy, mystery onto inconsistency, sensitivity onto passive aggression, trauma onto absence of effort, complexity onto emotional flatulence. What's actually happening is much simpler. He's testing your threshold. Can he ghost you for 48 hours and still get attention? Can he send one emoji and receive a 300-word message analyzing his emotional state? Can he say something mildly cruel and watch you unpack it like it's a riddle from the oracle at Delphi? If you didn't kick him out instantly, he logs it as a win, and the game continues. The exit from this trap requires some fundamental recognition. Not everything deserves interpretation. Some things are just stupid, period. Not a puzzle, not trauma, not hidden depth, just cognitive emptiness. Smart women need to learn to conserve their intellectual resources. Not everyone deserves your analysis. Most people are just background noise that doesn't require decoding. Your intelligence is a precision instrument, not a public utility. Stop trying to find meaning where there's none. Sometimes the absence of depth is the entire message. This doesn't mean you have to become dumber. It means that taking idiotic behavior literally, without trying to rationalize it, is actually the most accurate interpretation possible. If you're an idiot and already feel offended, relax. Wait. Не то.